All right, seventh grade, you're looking at a sourdough data sheet. I've actually blanked out this data and this data just for this demonstration because, quite frankly, I'm not finished yet and I don't want this data to be seen. But what I've done here is use the data from NC State's program to fill in some of their data so we can get a sense of how to graph this. Plus, not all of our data is going to look the same. So here is, I'm going to use pH after mixing and height before mixing. I kept the date in and I kept the day in, okay? And here's what you want to do. You can see I have some data below. You can click on column, all right? Copy it. And you can see here, I've done it already, but all right. And paste it, okay? I did that for height before mixing, and then you can go ahead and copy and paste pH after mixing. All right, which as you can see I've done, but I'll do again. All right, and then I put day in here. You could also put the date, but I think day looks a little cleaner. Plus, some of us are going to have different dates. So if some of us restarted, we might not have 14 days because if we restarted, which is fully acceptable to do, then you might have fewer days. Some of us might have had good data up to day 6. There's all different variations of this. But once you get to this point, you've got your headings in there. You want to make sure that you can highlight the whole thing and go up to this button here that says Insert Chart. I'm going to click on that, and boom, magic. So here is our chart. And this is difficult because typically these numbers here you'd have to put some sort of description on the left as to what the units were, like height in centimeters, but there's two different pieces of data we're looking at here that really don't have the same units. So pH number can't be related to height. The pH is red and the height is blue. So I'm going to keep this, which typically we would put a label to this, okay? At the bottom, we have day. It does it automatically because I put it in the column heading, okay? And then now the title here, I'm okay with, but whenever you want to play with your chart and maybe mix it up a little bit, all right, you could always do something like this as well. Here is an area chart. This one's really not appropriate for what we're doing. Google is pretty good about giving you what they think the best is, and I think this was the best one too because you can compare at any point. When height is going up, you see pH went up a little bit here. pH stabilizes here. We got to figure out why that is. Height seems to not be growing as much here. All right, so here we need what is not described in this title and needs to be is the height and the pH of what, okay? So let's, if we go here, I'll click on it as if I'm starting anew. All right, you can go to edit chart, all right, and up to customize, all right, chart style, we're not worried about that. Chart and axis titles, okay? Here is the title, and I'm going to say sourdough starter height before mixing and pH after mixing. We could probably even take out the mixing part, but I'll leave it in there for now, okay? That does that, all right, and that's the chart title. If I do want to do a horizontal title, it's under chart title as day, and it says, I can put day of, and you'll see it comes down. The minute I type it in, it pops in right there. Day of experiment, whatever we want to write. All right, and the vertical axis title, I probably should put something like height in centimeters. And it is here and pH, okay? And typically we just do one variable like height here, but we're trying to compare two different variables to get a sense of why these factors changed. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you for listening.